Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Swigz Talks Spurs. I'm Swigz. Welcome to the channel. Welcome, one and all. Hope you all are enjoying this weekend ahead of Paddy's weekend. First off, want to just give a huge thank you to all those of you who tuned into the channel recently, who've looked at the shorts, especially the last couple that have been put up, especially with my opinions on Tudor and stuff. Unreal engagement. Thank you so much again for that, for all the comments and stuff. Some uh, constructive criticism and some other ones as well. Welcome all on this channel. It's an open platform, it's an open place to discuss all footballing opinions. And so I thank each and every one of you for that engagement. And hopefully it's a continuation of things to come going forward. So first off, massive thank you to all of you on that. Next up, down to business. So, by the title of this video, if you haven't seen it already, it is all to do with our upcoming game against Liverpool on Sunday. So it's the half 4 kickoff on Sunday evening. Going to be an interesting one to say the least, folks. So strap yourselves in for it because I'm going to cover a few different topics here. So if you notice me glance down to my right, that's why I have them on the notepad just to make sure I'm on track. That I don't miss out on anything that I want to give my opinions on. And with that said, if you're new to the channel, hit that lovely subscribe button down below. That would be much appreciated. We're trying to grow the channel, grow it up to maybe the goal is to get 10 up to 10 subscribers before the end of the season. We're already on 6, which is still savage to even say that out loud. So smash that subscribe button if you wouldn't mind. That'd be greatly appreciated. Hit the thumbs up as well. And if you like what you see, share the video with whoever you think might enjoy the content that I waffle on about for this fine establishment of a club that we are at Tottenham Hotspur. So without further ado, I'm going to kick off the video with just getting in on basically where both teams are at. So where we are at with Spurs and where Liverpool appear to be at from an outsider's viewpoint anyways. So starting off, I suppose, with Spurs. Well, it's made no secret, we are still in the shit show that is our season, our hurricane storm. As I've said on numerous videos before, it's not looking good. There's nothing positive really coming out of the club as of late at all. There's been more talk of relegation. There's been more talk of Tudor getting the sack, getting the road. There's been talk of, I've read this morning and this evening, I suppose, that even managers like Deitch and De Zerbi, they're turning us down because it's short-term deal. It's a short-term fix. They want long-term. They want security. And so that where does that leave us as a club in a position of if Tudor loses, and all likelihood is that we will lose and lose badly this weekend, where does that leave us? Where does that leave us in terms of a managerial appointment? Where does that leave us as a club as a whole? So yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a real tough game, I think, going into it. Some key points that I want to share with you is Spurs again. We're decimated with injuries, and it's come to no surprise now that we're also going to be without the likes of Palhinha due to the concussion protocol and due to him deciding to clash heads with Romero. Van de Ven is obviously not out injured. He's obviously suspended from the game against Palace. We're also could be without Gallagher as well because as of this morning he was reported in the presser that Tudor gave that he had a fever, but hopefully he's fit enough to play. If not, that's another body that we're missing in that midfield, and we need someone like Gallagher coming up against an incredibly world class midfield that Liverpool have, which I'll touch on in a few moments' time. Going to be really tough. We have 0 wins under Tudor. We've on the back end of an absolute thumping by Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. To say confidence is dead, it would probably be an overstatement. In many regards, it's looking like we are flogging a dead horse. At Tottenham, for instance, it just looks really, really poor from us. And I can't really see it changing anytime soon in the future with Igor Tudor at the helm. But maybe Sunday he'll prove us all wrong. Maybe, who knows? who knows? But yeah, Spurs versus Liverpool. It's obviously a really entertaining game. There's always been goals galore in it. Only thing with that is it's never been really in Spurs' favour, as I think the last time we won at Anfield was back in 2012. As far as I know, as far as my notes make out, so we haven't won there in what, 14 years nearly. So, and I can't see that ground curse being broken anytime soon. Liverpool, on the other hand, they've looked well in parts. They've kind of been in a similar situation to us, albeit they're still far more successful in the sense that they're not fighting relegation. They're still up in the top half of the table. Now, Slot has gotten some questionable questionable team selections and allocation of players, I suppose, in recent weeks, even last week, especially, the loss to Wolves, from what I was seeing from Liverpool fans, they weren't best pleased with that, shall we say. So they'll be looking to kick on, they'll be looking to get at Spurs. We're the perfect team for them to get 3 points against. You'll have the likes, I can see the likes. Well, I'll touch on that maybe in an upcoming section. I won't give any spoilers away just yet. But yeah, I can't. Liverpool, they'll come out with the traps and they'll want to rectify their poor performance against Wolves, and who better to do it than against Dr. Tottenham? But yeah. That being said, kind of leads me on to well, I suppose our form, both teams' form coming into it. Like I said, Spurs' form, shocking. We haven't done anything as of late in the league, and we haven't done anything as of late all season, really. I think our last game that we won was back in October, which says all that needs to be said. I could unquote me on that, I could have it wrong, but as far as I know, that is the last time we actually won a game. That was back when Thomas Frank was in charge. Yeah, so I can't see that changing at all. Our form has been horrific. Liverpool as well, like I said, up and down season for them. Their last game against Wolves was poor for their standards. And they'll be looking to kick that on against the likes of us. However, as I also said a couple minutes ago, this game has always been entertaining. For whatever reason, Liverpool and Spurs has always been a high scoring game. The only downside as a Spurs fan, it's never really been in our favour too much. So I have a few ones that I want to just rattle off. Bear with me. Like in 2023, obviously we got annihilated 6-3. We lost to them the year before in 2025, 5-1. We've had 4-0s. We've had one entertaining one, which was a 4-3 one, I suppose, at 2023. Um, but yeah, it's like we haven't done anything. I know we beat them in the League Cup. We only beat them 1-0. And the last time I remember us putting in a really good performance against the Liverpool side was that game against Liverpool at Wembley, if you remember, when Ali scored, and I think it was Trippier got a free kick in that game as well. That was the last game that comes to my mind, anyways, of when we actually were the better team overall, and we handled Liverpool well. Fast forward, was it 6, 7, 8 years? We're a shell of a team of that, and Liverpool are defending champions, albeit a very poor defending champions. Needless to say, they will still come at us with everything they have, and yeah, they will give us an absolute torrid time tomorrow, in my opinion. With that, in order to do that, they must have key players. They must have key personnel to rely on to get them over the line. Unlike us, Spurs, who have zero. We have no players that we can rely on as of now. Which is why this next, I suppose, this next concept of seeing what players we can rely on is so hard as a Spurs fan because we can't rely on any of them. Half of the ones are on the bench, the other half aren't putting in as much effort as we'd like. So I suppose what I've done is I've tried to pick two players from each, from Liverpool and Spurs, and tried to find some positives, especially with Spurs, with that. So two players I think we need to rely on in this game: Richie and Porro. Now, bear with me. I think Richie has to start simply because obviously he knows what it means to play against Liverpool when he played with Everton. Plus, I think he's the only striker that can actually get at the likes of Van Dijk and Canate and get at them and kind of almost like placate them and try and get something out of the game for us in that sense. The other player, Paro, I think he's our only real attacking threat, and that's shocking to say our right wing back is our most attacking threat. He looked good against Atletico Madrid, I have to say, when he was playing as his right wing back. Obviously, he got the goal for us, but defensively, sure, he's all over the joint. His head is on a swivel. He don't know what way is going. He's like a fox in a hen's house. He don't know where to look, what to do on the defense. On the attack, great. Savage going on the front foot. On the defense, that's where his game kind of downplays for me at least. Um, However, with our injuries and stuff, do not be surprised if you see Paro playing in a position where he's not best suited for. If we do that, game done. Game done, set and match. From a Liverpool's point of view, I think that two players I'm going to highlight straight away. I think everyone will think that they're going to have a field day with us. To be honest, you could say the whole squad, really, that all the 11 are going to have a field day against Tottenham. But the two main players, Wirtz and Nketiah, not Nketiah, he wishes he was with Liverpool, is Eddie, not Nketiah, what's his name? Ekatike, sorry, Ekatike. Sorry, I had Nketiah in my head. Ekatike and Wirtz are going to boss us out of the park. I'm calling it here now. If my prediction comes true, those two will be at the helm of it, along with Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai has been unbelievably underrated, I think, this season. I think the likes of him and Enzo Fernandez for Chelsea have been two of the most consistently brilliant players this season. And they both, I think, have carried their teams respectively. So yeah, Wirtz, he seems to be getting gradually more acclimatized to the league. It's amazing what happens when you actually have a good world class squad around a key player like Wirtz to come in. How he can, yeah, it takes time, but he's showing his quality. He's getting there. He's a bit more sharper on the ball from what I've seen as of late. And Ekitike goes without saying, he's hit the ground running with Liverpool. He's going to have a field day of whoever he comes up against with us because just going to lick his lips at the sight of seeing a Spurs defence. And speaking of Spurs defence, it probably goes without saying, but we also need to mention that we have no defenders really in the back line. Like it's just the fact that Romero's out, Van de Ven's out, Dragson's out, Danso's the only real centre half that we're going to be having. So at least we can rely on Big Kev to step in and give us solid 6, solid 7 out of 10 performance. But Nketiah or Ekitike, sorry, I keep saying Nketiah. Ekitike is going to run rings around our defence, I fear. Um, don't be surprised either if Salah just turns up and bangs in a hat trick either. So yeah, it's going to be worrying times. But those are some of the key players that I think that we need to keep an eye out for. Next up, tactics. Well, it's easy probably to say from a Liverpool, just go gun ho, press them. They can't handle the pressure, lump balls into the box and hit them on the counter attack because we are useless. Absolutely red raw useless. About as useful as tits on a bun. It is just shocking our tactical setup. And that again stems from Tudor, where I think we're going to absolutely get overrun again. That middle of the pack. I think we've lost Polinia and now effectively as of now, I believe we've lost Gallagher. So that leaves then who? Archie Gray, Papasar in the middle of the field. But Archie Gray may not even play in the middle of the field, as I'm going to touch on in my later video of my potential lineup. So stay tuned for all that good stuff. Um, and yeah, so we're going to get run over in the middle of the park. Liverpool, their midfield, even their second team, the likes of Jones, Endo, McAllister, like they've Gravenberch, they've Soboslai, they have quality. We would give anything even to have an Endo in our team. An absolute warrior. Like we have that with Polinia, but Endo is another one. Endo's, if we had Polinia and then the drop off was Endo, we're good. We're good from a 6 point of view at least, anyways. An 8 point of view and 10 we need work on. But Liverpool have that. Liverpool have just quality all around the park. Spurs have inequality because we are our turnover from nearly player available to player unavailable is skewed massively. So I think we're going to get overrun in the midfield. I think the attack is going to absolutely damage us. The only hope that we have is of course a set piece, but even then, that's going to be hard when we're missing our two key first team defenders in Van de Ven and Romero, and Polina as well, because he's a big, powerful um, six also. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Spurs line up in that, and how Igor Tudor sets up his team. Because from how I see it, I think that I want to. Okay, so this kind of goes into the last segment. How I view he's going to set up, and then I'll give my opinion on how I would set up. So Tudor, he's not going to change anything. He's going to stick to either a 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1. He's going to probably play Archie Gray, God knows where. Would not be surprised if he plays Archie Gray right centre back in a back three with Danzo, and he'll probably put on Boynefield, to be honest. Or else put Spence in at left wing back and put Boynefield in at left centre half. Who knows? Who knows? I honestly cannot predict what he'll do. All I can say is that what he will do is he will not put anything in the midfield. We'll get overrun by Mad. More than likely he's going to start Muani on the right, because for some reason or another he loves Muani, but also it's because we have no one else that can play, so he's the only one that we can play. Um, and yeah, he'll probably start with Solanke as well in this game, whereas I would probably start Richie personally on that sense. So don't expect Tudor to adjust his team selection or his formation or tactics at all before the game or throughout the game. Um, and I think that's going to lead to us being absolutely run red over. My lineup then, on that sense, I suppose I'll just give a quick synopsis of it, because I don't want to. I'll go into it in a bit more detail, I suppose, in my later video. But I think I'm just going to set up shop 4-2-3-1. Go with that. Can play players in the right positions. Hopefully, we can do damage limitation. Next up, then, it's coming to the prediction, the fun stuff that we all love. It's going to be goals galore. It's going to be a goal fest. We're going to get run red ragged all over the park. And I'm going to go for, I was kind of in the middle of two. So I'm in the middle of a 5-1 or a 6-3. Now, I have no idea where I'm thinking that Spurs are going to get not one, not two, but three goals. Not a chance that they're going to do that. But I am in the camp that we're going to concede at least five. So I'm going to go with, I'm going to go Liverpool 6, Spurs 1. That's my score. I think we're going to get absolutely annihilated. Absolutely just blown out of the park. And yeah, I can't really see us doing any damage at all to Liverpool. I see this as, I suppose, as just it's a game we have to show up and nothing more. We're not going to get anything from it. No one's expecting us to get anything from it. Um, and yeah, so I don't see why we're going to put in a performance or even get a performance out of the players personally. So yeah, I can't see anything but a Liverpool win tomorrow on that. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Liverpool Spurs game ahead of tomorrow's kickoff. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments section. As I said at the start of the video, I'm going to say it again here. Thank you so much for all the engagement with it. I love interacting with other people, whether it's like-minded Spurs people or like-minded football general people, or even people who support opposition teams. Like I'll even entertain Arsenal fans on the channel, where where this channel is an open book. Anyone can come give their say. Just be prepared that if you can give it, you have to take it as well. That's the only thing I will say on that. But it's all banter at the end of the day. We're all football fanatics. We all love our clubs and we all love the rivalries that those clubs have. And we wouldn't want to change it for a thing. The only thing I would change though is probably the head of Spurs, the CEO, sporting director, and probably 20 of the players. But other than that, I'm all good as of now. So yeah, if you've liked what you've seen or heard, give the video a thumbs up. That would be amazing. Also click the subscribe button down below. That would be also savage. And yeah, hopefully it is going to be okay day tomorrow. Fingers crossed that we don't lose by anything too bad, but it's Spurs. It's Spurs. Another day in paradise, isn't that what they all say? But yeah, thanks very much for watching the video, and stay tuned for my next one, which I'll do, and I'll be sending out hopefully probably tomorrow before kickoff, just on my prediction 11 of what Tudor's going to go with before he actually does, before it is announced. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Thanks very much for watching. Have a good evening.